Well, a very pleasant good Monday morning. Welcome to the Amber Today Show. I'm Amber Alert founder, Pastor Charles Williams. Thank you so very much for taking time out of your busy schedule. When we get back, we're going to get started. So please, those of you who are watching on YouTube, please invite others. You're watching on Periscope, please invite others. And if you're watching on Facebook Live, invite others. When we come back, we're going to get started with today's edition of the Amber Today Show. We'll be right back. Trying to get used to some new digs here. We are here. Good Monday morning. It is a Monday, and very good morning to you. Those of y'all who are watching us on the YouTube channel, as you know, we're trying to get some things here together. But once again, welcome to the Amber Today Show. I am your host, Pastor Charles Williams, and we've got a number of things. We have a number of things to talk about. As you know, whenever we come together in the mornings, one of the first things that we do right out of the chute is we talk about active Amber Alerts, okay? And to report this morning, there has been no additional movement on the case, on the Amber Alert case out of Phoenix, Arizona, okay, for 5-year-old and 8-year-old Jonathan Coronado and his brother Victor Coronado. Let's pull them up here. Jonathan and Victor. Let me find them here in my screen. Here we go. This is Jonathan. Okay, I'm sorry. This is Victor Coronado out of Phoenix, Arizona, and this is his brother Jonathan Coronado out of Phoenix, Arizona. You know, they've been missing now since September the 1st, and there has been no movement as to their whereabouts. And so again. Authorities asking anyone with any information concerning them to please call them at area code 602-262-6151. That's 602-262-6151. Just 1 second, I need to make an adjustment here. As you're watching the Amber Today Show, I'm your host, Pastor Charles Williams. Welcome. We welcome each and every one of you this morning to our broadcast, and we thank you so very much for taking the time to be here this morning. Hey, Debbie Manning, I've seen your post all weekend long. Okay, I have seen your post all weekend long. That's Debbie Manning with the with her NCME. Okay, is in the house, and we're so appreciative for the work that you do, also, Debbie. Now, also as far as active Amber Alerts, we have the active Amber Alert, of course, for Hanya Aguilar, okay, out of Hanya. I got a better picture of her than that. Just here we go. For Hanya Aguilar, okay, out of Lumberton, North Carolina. There has still been no appreciable movement on that particular case. In just a little bit, we're going to dive a little bit more into that case and let you know what authorities are doing and let you know how you can help in this case as it continues to go forth. You know, today marks 2 weeks that Hanya would have went missing, probably around this time. I've got 7:42 here Eastern Standard Time, somewhere around this hour. 2 weeks ago, a little 13-year-old girl, was standing outside waiting for some other family members to come and take her to school. And lo and behold, a person accosted this girl, and we hadn't seen or heard from her since. Okay? So we're going to dive into that. Anyone having any information concerning this case out of Lumberton, North Carolina, for 13-year-old Hanya Aguilar, you're being asked to call. Okay, you are being asked to call area code 910-671-3845. That's area code 910-671-3845. Next up, the Amber Alert out of Barron, Wisconsin. Let's pull up Jamie here. Let's pull it up. Okay, out of Barron, Wisconsin for Jamie. Here we go. For 13-year-old Jamie Kloss, still missing today out of Barron, Wisconsin. We've got a little bit of information to share with you concerning her case, and again, what authorities are urging the community to do in response to the disappearance of 13-year-old Jamie Kloss. It's been over a month now. Jamie went missing on the 15th, and it's been just over a month that she has no one has seen nor heard from 13-year-old Jamie. And we're going to go a little bit more into that case in just a little bit. But when we come back, okay, when we look at your neighbor and say, when we come back, when we come back, we're going to talk about some of these cases. We're going to talk about some of these cases, particularly over what happened over the weekend. This case out of Cleveland, Ohio, you're going to want to stay right here. What happens when a person is visiting when a person is visiting a child in just a house coat, making it appear to be very low-key, low-profile, that you would suspect nothing. That's coming up next. We're going to tell you about that, what happened out of Cleveland, Ohio this past weekend. And this should just kind of cause everyone, it absolutely should cause everyone to be on their highest alert and highest regard, because if it can happen there, it can happen anywhere. Okay, and we'll be back right after this message. I think we got it, right? Is she not there? That's a second. Okay, that one is not there. We got a dead music. Why do we have dead music? Okay, let's do this. Okay. sorry for the technical difficulties, but they're electronics, right? Okay, welcome back. Thank you for being here with us today on the Amber Today show. This past weekend, we had a situation that jumped off out of Cleveland, Ohio, okay? Out of Cleveland, Ohio for a 6-month-old little girl. 6-month-old little girl who was the subject of a Cleveland, Ohio Amber Alert. And the story goes a little something. Like this. Let me just kind of update something here real fast. The story goes a little something like this: that the mother of the child lost custody of the child shortly after birth. For whatever reason, the child was awarded custody of the state here in Cleveland, Ohio. And the just one moment, I got something bugging us here. Okay, out of Cleveland, Ohio, and as the mother lost custody of the child, okay, as the mother lost custody of that particular child, always in the back of her mind was, when I get the opportunity to get my child back, I'm going to get this child back, and no one will stop me. Well, on this past weekend, Friday into Saturday, the court granted her a supervised visit, some type of a visitation. And it was during the course of that visitation that somehow she was able to get her hands on this 6-month-old child. And when she did, she showed up, she presented herself in just a house coat, as though no one would ever suspect anything. And what happened is that after doing that, she, after being out of the sight, okay, after being out of the sight of the, of whoever it was who brought the child there, she then proceeded to bolt with that child, okay? She bolted with that child, and I mean, she just did that. She just bolted with the child. Authorities issued an Amber Alert. Okay, we did not have a car. I spoke with them up in Cleveland. They did not have a car. They did not have a sense of direction. They felt that this young lady was. Still in the area. I did not. Okay, I never felt that she was going to be there in the area, because I felt that after one, being stripped of her custody, and two, if she ever had a chance to get her hands back on that child, she was going to run as far as she could. And that's exactly what she did. Authorities found that child several days later. Authorities found that child several hours later in South Carolina. Okay? She was found Saturday night. Amber Alert was issued Saturday morning. She was found Saturday night, more than 8.5 hours away from the point of impact, what we call the point of impact of this particular child abduction. They were found at a hotel in Walterboro. That's Walterboro. They were found at a hotel in Walterboro, South Carolina. The mother, the reason, we found out later, the reason that they had removed the custody from the mother is because the mother suffers from a very serious mental health condition that to the point that authorities felt that she would be a risk of taking care of this child, and this is why they removed her from being the mother of the child. So, like I said, they found her in Walterboro, South Carolina, and as a result of a door-to-door search, they received a tip from a hotel that a car registered to one of her relatives was parked there in the parking lot. You know, the police, they can drive by. They do that often. They can drive by with the scanner readers, and if something is going on, anything outstanding is going on, it'll flag it. And that's what happened. In response to that tip, they were flagged there in Walterboro, South Carolina. A door-to-door. Kudos to the sheriff's department, okay, and FBI and everyone that was involved in the search. But they did a door-to-door search at that hotel there in Walterboro, North Carolina, off of Interstate 95, and they found the child, and they found the suspect, and they found the person who had given that suspect a ride, or had taken that suspect from Cleveland to South Carolina. So again, that's the follow-up to that Amber Alert out of Cleveland, Ohio, for that 6-month-old little girl, Emery Seals. She has been found. She has been found safe, and that Amber Alert has now been canceled. Coming up next, when we come back, we're going to take a look, dive a little bit deeper into this case out of Wisconsin, and let you know what the Barron, Wisconsin Police Department are now saying in this case. That's coming up next, right here on the Amber Today Show. We'll be right back right after this. You're watching the Amber Today Show. Good morning. Welcome back. I'm your host, Pastor Charles Williams. Thank you so very much for being here with us on this Monday morning, the 19th, Monday, the 19th of November. Are you ready for Thanksgiving? You know what? If not, you better get on the stick, because Thanksgiving will be here before you know it. Just a couple of days out from Thanksgiving. Those of y'all watching on Facebook Live, we want to thank you for your participation and for joining us this morning. Those of y'all watching us on Periscope, welcome and good Monday morning to you. And those of y'all watching on YouTube, a very pleasant top of the morning to you as well. Let's talk about this case out of Barron, Wisconsin now, okay? Out of Barron, Wisconsin, for 13-year-old Jamie Closs, as we mentioned at the top of the show. Authorities they've issued a reminder to people here as hunting season has arrived, okay? And as we are now in hunting season in the especially in the area of Wisconsin, people are going to be out hunting deer and things of that nature. It's a huge hunting area. They're reminding people that 13-year-old Jamie Closs is still missing. And they're asking the hunters that as they go out, they're sending out a reminder to everyone who is registered to hunt, that as you go out into the community, as you go out and do your hunting, if y'all see something in the Barron, Wisconsin area that's not right, just doesn't look right, an old shed that looks like it's been lived in, or a car or something that's backed up to an old shed that shouldn't be there. Hey Vera, thanks for joining us this morning. If you see something that's kind of out of the ordinary, authorities say don't touch it, call them, okay? A lot of hunters are going to be going out deep into the woods, okay? And this may just very well be a prime opportunity to roll up on somebody who has abducted this child out of Barron, Wisconsin. Here is the actual message that authorities are asking. It says, thousands of deer hunters are being asked to help in the search for 13-year-old Wisconsin girl, Jamie Closs. Thousands of deer hunters are being asked, okay? Oh, inbox me, please, Vera. Okay, please inbox me on InstaMessage. Please do that. I'd be glad to. But once again, authorities are asking everyone. Okay, they're asking absolutely everyone. And I would not just limit that to what's going on in Wisconsin concerning 13-year-old Jamie Closs, but I would say also, do the same thing for those of y'all who are going to be deer hunting in and around North Carolina, okay? If you're going to be deer hunting in and around North Carolina, listen, you're going to go deeper into the woods. You're going to be sitting in deer stands and everything. Just take that extra few moments to stop, look around, and check to see if something doesn't look right, okay? If you have any concern about anything, an old barn, an old car, an old trailer, if you see anything that just doesn't look right or just looks out of place, contact the authorities, not only in Wisconsin, but those of y'all hunting in North Carolina for this other little girl here out of North Carolina. If y'all see something in as you're out hunting there in North Carolina for little 13-year-old Hanya Aguilar, please pick up that phone and call the authorities as it relates to that particular case. Okay, so when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more. Okay. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about that case out of North Carolina. I'm going to let you hear what the authorities are saying and what authorities are asking the public to do out of Lumberton, North Carolina, in response to this girl right here, 13-year-old Hanya Aguilera. Okay, that's coming up next, right here on the Amber Today Show. We'll be right back right after this message. Here we go. I will get with you immediately after this program to make sure that I have your contact information and so forth, okay? Bless you. Or if you have an email, if you can send me my email address is rsprings32@gmail.com. That's rsprings32@gmail.com, okay? Tag it interview so I know that it's you, okay? And send me and I will reply to your email. Let's do it that way. We're back. You're watching the Amber Today show. It's 4 minutes past the top of the hour. 4 minutes past the top of the hour. And thank all of you for being here on this morning as we're continuing in our journey. We're continuing in our journey here this morning concerning these missing children. Okay? Out of talking about outstanding Amber Alerts. And on this segment, we're going to dive a little bit more into this case out of North Carolina. As I mentioned to you just a moment ago about what authorities are doing in Barron, Wisconsin, in encouraging people to, hunters as they go deep into the woods, to please be on their highest alert and to be on their highest regard, because they may see something. You know, they may see something that others have missed along the way. And again, authorities are asking them that if they see something, to please do not touch it, just share it and let the authorities do what it is they need to do in the event that they see something. They see something in that particular locale. But concerning Hanya Aguilar, okay, concerning 13-year-old Hanya Aguilar, here's what authorities are saying. Authorities have set up a tip line, okay? Authorities have set up a special tip line that anyone can call if they have any information to help investigators find Hanya. That special tip line is area code 910-272-5871. Again, a special tip line has been set up to help find 13-year-old Hanya Aguilar. And that number to call, if you have any information, you can submit a tip anonymously in connection with this case. And authorities are asking anyone and everyone, if you have any information, to please call area code 910-272-5871. Authorities are also saying, if you see something that doesn't belong, okay, they're asking everyone to check your property, okay? Just 1 second, okay? There we go. Yeah, okay. Here's what authorities are asking, okay? Authorities are saying, amid the search for North Carolina 13-year-old Hanya Aguilar, authorities are asking residents, okay? Now, you may not be going hunting deep in the woods, but if you own any properties, and we started saying this, okay? We started sharing this late last week, okay? We started saying, listen, if you own any property, you own any rental property, you manage an apartment building that has some vacancies in it, please check everything that is vacant. if you manage trailer homes, don't just check the trailer home, but check underneath the trailer homes as well, as most trailer homes have skirts and everything around them. Please check underneath all trailer homes, okay? Whether they're vacant or occupied. Check underneath all trailer homes. This girl is out there somewhere. She is out there somewhere. Okay? And authorities need our help. Please share the broadcast on Facebook, Periscope, Instagram, and Twitter. Okay? I'm going to read this again. Amid search for North Carolina 13-year-old Hanya Noella Aguilar, authorities are asking residents to check properties for anything that is unusual. Okay? And authorities also said that if you see something that doesn't belong or is not normal, do not touch anything. You could damage possible evidence, okay? They're saying don't touch anything. If you see something that doesn't look right, don't touch it. They're saying call the tip line at 911. Call the tip line or 911. And again, that tip line to call is area code 910. Thank you. 910-272-5871. That's area code 910-272-252. Area code 910-272-5871. When we come back, we're going to talk about attempted abductions. Y'all are going to want to stay with us for this next segment. I was putting this broadcast together last night, and it just blew my mind, Vera, what actually is going on. What is going on in this world, okay? We're going to talk about that when we come back right here on the Amber Today Show. That's coming up next, right here. That's coming up next, rather, right after this message. You're watching the Amber Today Show. Oh no, what is going on with that? Don't like that. Okay, pull this up. Here we go. Can we do it then? Okay. Let's do this. I don't know why that happens like that, but we will definitely look into that. There we go. Wow. Wow, Debbie, that's cool. Hey, Becky, thanks for joining. Thanks for joining this morning, Becky. I appreciate you. Okay. Okay. We don't know what's going on with that. We don't know what's going on. All right. All right, we're back. Thank you all so very much for your patience as we were working through some technical challenges here, but I think we've got what we need here out of what's going on. But I shared with you that when we came back, we were going to talk about some attempted abductions. And this is I mean, Debbie, it's a lot. This is a lot to really process of what's going on. But it's happening, and we have to talk about it. Because as we talk about it, it helps us to put the information out there, okay? To let people know that whether or not a child was actually abducted or not, still this is going on in communities across the nation, and people are just acting like it doesn't exist and don't want to talk about it and everything. They don't want to talk about it until it happens to somebody that they know or someone in their family. And so, folks, we got to talk about this. We have to talk about this. There was an abduction attempt. Okay, talking about abduction attempts. Listen, there was an abduction attempt at a fast food restaurant in West Virginia. Some of y'all may have heard about this, but there was an abduction attempt at a fast food restaurant. Imagine this: a worker at a fast food chicken restaurant goes out to help a customer. You know, the worker goes out to help the customer take the chicken to the car. As the worker, who was a young female, got to the car, the person who was the customer attempted to abduct this worker. Okay? He grabbed her by the wrist. Okay? He grabbed her by the wrist and tried to force her. Okay? And tried to force her into the trunk of his vehicle. She said she thought it was strange that a person would put, the order of chicken into their trunk. When he opened up the trunk, she felt uneasy. And he said, let's just put the food here in the trunk. Well, as she bent over to put the food in the trunk, like she said, he then tried to put her in the trunk. This happened at a store called Zaxby's. I've never been there, so they say it's a chicken fast food restaurant. But he tried to put her in the trunk of the car. Fortunately, she was able to break free from him, and here he is right here. Okay? She was able to break free from the man, and authorities used the surveillance cameras from the restaurant to find out, who the person was and so forth. And it turned out that the person was 30-year-old Marcus Bailey. Okay? 30-year-old Marcus Bailey, an African-American man who went into the restaurant Where was it located? This was located in Chesterfield, Virginia. In Chesterfield, Virginia. 30-year-old Marcus Bailey now sits in jail with no bond for the attempted abduction of a Zaxby's restaurant employee as she tried to help him by, if your order is going to be delayed, a worker will come out to your car. You go to Wendy's and they can't, get your order, in a hurry. They're going to ask you to pull over and they'll bring it out to the car. Okay, that's what they do. When this lady brought the order out to the car, he attempted to abduct her and drive off with her. So, Marcus Bailey, Chesterfield, Virginia. That is correct. City and state. Chesterfield, Virginia, near the Richmond, Virginia. You can pull up the story by going to, by Googling Zaxby's employee abducted. Okay, and you should be able to pull it up fairly quickly by doing that. We have a video clip. We have a clip of this story from News 12 there in the Richmond area, and we're going to pull that story in here right now and let you all hear the news account of this story out of Chesterfield, Virginia, at the attempted abduction of a food service worker. Here we go.
Your side safety team getting answers for you after a frightening situation. Take a look. Police say this man tried to force a Zaxby's employee into his car right there in the restaurant's parking lot as she got off work. Officers say Marquise Bailey asked the woman for help bringing food to his car, then grabbed her wrists, asking her to get into the trunk. Kelly Avellino asked the experts how to handle something like this. Kelly, this suspect was a customer, so this woman probably thought he was safe, I guess.
That's right. She's a female employee. She was helping him bring the order to his car and not expecting what happened to happen. But again, anything can happen in a society like this. You have to be careful. That said, we asked the experts what to do if you're asked by a stranger for help. The suspect in the attempted abduction at this Chesterfield Zaxby's looks like any other customer. The female victim, according to police, was just trying to help him carry his order to the car. NBC 12 safety expert and former police chief Mike Jones says, always try to involve other people if you're asked for help by a stranger, even if you're at work.
Always try to do it with two employees, because two employees can definitely stop a crime from occurring.
Stranger-on-stranger crimes can be dire, but you don't want to be cold to your neighbor who might be asking for help. Right. What would you do if someone asked to borrow your cell phone in a parking lot for a so-called emergency?
I have done it in the past. That's kind of risky to me because I don't know that person. I don't know what they're up to.
Jones recommends offering to make the call for them or directing them inside a store for more help, but never hand over your phone.
The minute your phone is given up is the minute you've given up your safety net to be tracked or to gain help.
What if someone is waving at cars standing by a seemingly stranded vehicle on the side of the road? Would you help?
No, I would be too scared, especially if I'm alone. If I'm with my husband, I would.
Jones says you can always make a call while still in your car. Do not get out.
Don't get out of the car to go assist them or anything like that, because unfortunately, you don't know who's waiting either inside that car or out in the bushes right beside it.
And we have many more tips on different scenarios that you might encounter under this story on NBC12.com or our cell phone app. On your side in Richmond, I'm Kelly Avellino for NBC.
Okay, thank you, Kelly. That's a report again out of the Richmond, Virginia area. A Zaxby's employee. We've had other attempted abductions out of, let's see, I've got it right here. Other attempted abductions. Another one out of Florida, okay? Let's pull this one up. Another attempted abduction out of the Florida area. Remember, I think it was on Friday, I shared with you about 3 girls that said that they had been that they were attempted there was an attempted abduction upon them as they were going to school there in Florida. Well, authorities said, and I'm reading this, it says, a felon tried to get a young girl into his car. Cops said possibly for the second time this month. This just happened after our broadcast on Friday. Okay? This is the felon. He is De Jesus Condom. De Jesus Condom out of Florida. He is a convicted felon, and authorities said that he tried to get a young girl into his car. The cops said that possibly for the second time this month. How many? My question is, how many times is it going to have to happen before, before authorities will actually take these people off the streets and lock them up for a very, very, very long time? Because it's clear, at least to me it is, it's clear that they are sick. Okay, they are sick, and so that's the that's gonna do it today from our attempted abduction section. When we come back, we will come back into our last segment. Okay, and as we prepare to do that, I want to remind you that as we come up on Thanksgiving, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for helping us to give back to so many families this year who had a child who was abducted, a little boy, a little girl that was abducted. But we came together here on social media and we put out this information about their missing child, whether it was an Amber Alert, whether it was a courtesy alert. We put that information out there. And in just a couple of days, when those families were able to sit down and look around the table, there will not be a seat missing. There will not be a person missing in a seat, because maybe somebody cared enough on Periscope to share about our broadcast. Somebody cared enough to share on Facebook about the missing child that I did a broadcast for. On YouTube, somebody cared enough to share about that missing child. And for them, what they're thankful for is that everybody on this Thursday will be at the dinner table. Thank you for helping me to make that happen in the lives of many across this country, whether it was this year or in previous years. Thank you. We'll be back, and when we come back, we're going to take a look at today's missing children. Get your tissue. You're going to need it for this one. We'll be back. You're watching the Amber Today Show. Watching the Amber Today Show. I'm your host, Pastor Charles Williams, and this is a powerful and a poignant moment that we are approaching as we come up on Thanksgiving. And there are people who have their children, and then of course this Thanksgiving there will be those whose children are still missing, such as in Wisconsin and in if they're not found, North Carolina. But there are other children whose cases have not been as high profile, whose cases are, and their faces are just as important, their families are concerned about them too. And it is with, I don't know how to say this. It is with our hope that what we are doing here will help to lead to your loved one being found. If you don't find them before Thanksgiving, hopefully they'll still be found soon and very soon. With that being said, here are our list of today's missing children. The first child that is missing today, it is 17-year-old Alex Flynn. 17-year-old Alex Flynn out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Anyone having any information concerning 17-year-old Alex Flynn, you're being asked to call area code 414-935-7354. Alex Flynn, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Next up, 16-year-old Faylin Durham. 16-year-old Faylin Durham out of Battleground, Washington. Anyone having any information concerning her whereabouts? You're being asked to call the Vancouver, Washington Police Department at area code 360. At area code 360 693-311. That's 693-311. Next up, 17-year-old Amy Davis. 17-year-old Amy Davis out of Houston, Texas. Anyone having any information concerning the whereabouts of 17-year-old Amy Davis out of Houston, Texas? You're being asked to call area code 713-884-3131. That's area code 713-884, 3131. Houston, Texas, Amy Davis. Next up, out of San Antonio, Texas, 16-year-old Galaxy Sanchez. 16-year-old Galaxy Sanchez. Anyone with any information concerning the whereabouts of 16-year-old Galaxy Sanchez, you're being asked to call area code 210-207-7273. That's area code 210-207-7273. Galaxy Sanchez, San Antonio, Texas. Next up, 15-year-old Brishar Ramsey. 15-year-old Brishar Ramsey out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Anyone having any information concerning the whereabouts of 15-year-old Brishar Ramsey, you're being asked to call area code 215-686-3353. That's 215-686-3353. Brishar Ramsey, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Next up, 6-year-old Devontae Hayward. 6-year-old Devontae Hayward out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Anyone having any information about this 6-year-old boy out of Philly, you've been asked to call area code 215-686-1776. That's area code 215-686-1776. Next up, out of Columbia, Missouri, 17-year-old Madison Theroff. 17-year-old Madison Theroff out of Columbia, Missouri. you're being asked to call. Anyone with any information, you're being asked to call. Area code 573-874-7662. Again, that's out of Columbia, Missouri. Next up, 16-year-old Michaela Stanfield. 16-year-old Michaela Stanfield out of Kansas City, Missouri. Anyone with any information concerning Michaela should call area code 816-234-5111. That's area code 816-234-5111. Michaela Stanfield. Next up, 16-year-old Nicole Flo. 16-year-old Nicole Flo out of Lockport, New York. Anyone with any information concerning Nicole should call the Niagara County Sheriff's Office at area code 716-438-3393. Nicole Flo, Lockport, New York. Next up, 14-year-old Jua Brathwaite. 14-year-old Jua Brathwaite out of Springfield Gardens, New York. Anyone having any information concerning 14-year-old Jua, you've been asked to call the New York Police Department at area code 646-610-5030. That's area code 646-610-5030. Next up, Brianna Cardrelli. 16-year-old Brianna Cardrelli out of Buffalo, New York. Anyone with any information concerning Brianna, you should call the Buffalo, New York Police Department at area code 716-851-4444. Next up, 16-year-old Joseph Grant. Okay, 16-year-old Joseph Grant out of Upper Darby, Pennsylvania. Anyone with any information concerning 16-year-old Joseph Grant, you've been asked to call the Upper Darby Police Department in Pennsylvania at area code 610-734-7693. Next up, Anaya Latimer out of Middletown, New York. Anyone with any information concerning Anaya Latimer, you're being asked to call the New York State Police Department at area code 845-344-5300. Anaya Latimer. Next up, 17-year-old Ajanique Underwood. 17-year-old Ajanique Underwood out of Lockport, New York. Anyone having any information concerning the whereabouts of 17-year-old Ajanique Underwood out of Lockport, New York, you're being asked to call area code the New York State Police Department at area code 716-434-5589. Ajanique Underwood. Next up, 14-year-old Shia Williams. 14-year-old Shia Williams out of Yonkers, New York. Anyone with any information concerning Shia should call area code 914-377-7900. Shia Williams, Yonkers, New York. Next up are Jinky Perry out of Rochester, New York. Anyone having any information concerning Jinky Perry out of Rochester, New York, you've been asked to call area code 585-428-6666. Again, that's area code 428-6666. Next up, Sarah Parker Langley. Sarah Parker Langley out of Greenville, North Carolina. Anyone with any information should contact the Pitt County Sheriff's Office at area code 252-830-4111. Next up, Jasmine Rodriguez. Okay, Jasmine Rodriguez. It's out of Roseville, North Carolina. Anyone with any information concerning Jasmine Rodriguez, you please been asked to call the Roseville Police Department at area code 919-556-7726. Jasmine Rodriguez. Next up, Sophie Hill. Sophie Healy out of Concord, North Carolina. Anyone with any information concerning Sophie should call the Kannapolis Police Department in North Carolina. That number to call is area code 704-920-4000. Next up, Shamara Hinton. Shamara Hinton out of Cleveland, Ohio. Anyone with any information concerning Shamara Hinton out of Cleveland should call the Cleveland, Ohio Police Department at area code 216-621-1234. Next up, Markayla Jennings Lillard. Markayla Jennings Lillard out of Columbus, Ohio. Anyone with any information concerning 16-year-old Markayla, you should call the Columbus, Ohio Police Department at area code 614-645-4545. That's area code 614-645-4545. Next up, 15-year-old Anaya Peterson. 16-year-old Anaya Peterson out of Cleveland, Ohio. Anyone having any information about 16-year-old Anaya Peterson, you're being asked to call area code 216-451-1234. Anaya Peterson, Cleveland, Ohio. Next up, Carly Young. Okay, Carly Young out of Springfield, Ohio. Anyone with any information concerning the whereabouts of Carly Young, you're being asked to call. Okay, you're being asked to call area code 973-324-7680. Carly Young, Springfield, Ohio. Next up, Zyra Pitts. Zyra Pitts is out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Anyone with any information concerning 15-year-old Zyra Pitts, you're being asked to call the Springfield Township Police Department. Area code 513-729-1300. And that's your update. That's your update on today's. That's your rundown of today's missing children. Listen, all of these children are very, very precious. They are special to God, and they are special to us here at the Amber Today Show. If you have any information, you can go back and watch, go back and look at those faces again. If you have any information concerning those children, you're please being asked to call those numbers that are associated. Listen, I want to talk to you for just a moment. As you know, the work that we do here at the Amber News Network and in the producing of the Amber Today Show. Listen, it requires a lot of us. I don't ask people all the time, but it would not be right for me to do all of this and not give you all an opportunity to give back into the work that we do. Here at the Amber Today Show, we are committed to helping to find all of America's missing children, or as many as we possibly can. I, as the Amber Alert founder, I'm grateful for what God has done with the Amber Alert ideal and the Amber Alert concept. Yes, I came up with that. And it is federally funded. It is, okay? The Amber Alert concept is federally funded. Okay? But what we do here at the Amber Today Show and the Amber News Network is not federally funded. Okay? And we are committed. So many families have called me and talked with me about what, man, they won't issue an Amber Alert. Can you help us to get can you help us to let the community know that my child is missing too? And so this is why we came up with this with the secondary alerts called the courtesy alert. This is why we built from scratch the Amber News Network, which is a powerful tool being used in conjunction with many law enforcement cases today. And so, if you like what it is that we do in highlighting these cases and doing follow-ups and up-to-dates, we'll sit here for nearly an hour doing a broadcast, because we know the news media will not give an hour to any missing person, okay? And we will sit here as long as we need to and do whatever we need to when it comes to saving the life of a child through information sharing. And so I'm encouraging you to go to the Cash App link associated in the profile section of our Facebook page, the profile section of our Periscope page, and in the profile section of our YouTube page. Or you can just go to Cash App. Go download the Cash App. Most of y'all already have it. But this is our handle on the Cash App. It's Amber Alert Founder PCW. Okay? Amber Alert Founder PCW. Just remember the PCW, Pastor Charles Williams. Okay? Go there. And if you like what we do, would you sow a tangible seed of 5, 10, 15, 30, 50, 100? Some of you may even want to give 1,000. Okay? Just to show your appreciation of the work that we do. And all of your giving helps to go towards the things that we do here in studio. Okay? You see how we've had some technical difficulties? Okay? If we had the monies, okay, things like that can be avoided. Okay? And we can help get the information out there. And that's what your giving does. Your giving to the Amber Today Show helps us to do better with this information sharing about the children that come across our desks. You know, it's interesting. When you turn on the TV, you'll see people asking for money about saving for dogs, helping to save the lives of dogs, and that is important. Helping to save the lives of the whales, and that is important. Giving to help to save wounded warriors and veterans, and that is important. But when it comes to helping to save the life of a child, is that not equally as important? These are our children that are attempted to be abducted from corner bus stops. These are our children that are attempted to be abducted only while they work. These are our children. And we are out here on the front lines. Now listen, if you don't want to give, that's fine. Don't send me a nasty letter or a nasty email, because I won't read it, okay? I simply won't read it. And if you send me that, I promise you, I'll block you, Okay? That is a promise from me to you. But to those of y'all who can really see, sense, and understand the magnitude of the work that we are doing, and you know the power and the worth of what it is that we are doing, I ask for your support. Okay? And go to that Cash App logo right there and send your donation and help us to do what it is that we do better. Now, we're going to be here regardless, okay? But simply, you can help us do what it is that we do better. And again, on behalf of all that we do here at the Amber News Network, thank you. We thank you in advance for your support. Okay? And when we come back, well, no, that's it. That's it. I looked up my sheet and that's it. I want to thank all of you for your comments. I want to thank all of you for your thoughts, your shares, and your prayers. As we enter into this day, I know a lot of you are going to be traveling. I pray for your safe travels. And a lot of you, if we don't see you again before next Monday, but we will be here on Wednesday and again on Friday. But if you're going to be traveling, I want you to be safe so that whenever we come back together again, okay, I want to see you back here in one piece. All right? God bless. You have been watching the Amber Today Show. I'm your host, Pastor Charles Williams, Amber Alert founder. And we want to say thank you so very much for taking the time to be with us here this morning. Vera, get ready to be by your phone. I'm going to call you in just a little bit, okay? And again, those of y'all on Periscope, thank you for being here today. And on YouTube, of course, can't do without YouTube, okay? Thank all of you for being here with us on YouTube today. God bless. We'll see you all again Wednesday morning when we come back together and do it all over again. I'm sure we'll have all new content on Wednesday morning concerning Amber Alerts. God bless. We'll see you next time now. Bye-bye. Have a good week. Have a good week on Periscope. I'm watching you. Have a good week on Facebook. I'm watching y'all.